Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you so much, President Molifaria, to you and Chairman Ricciardi and all of the members of the Board of Trustees, the faculty, the staff, all of those adults who are about making you, the student adults, into better adults and fuller citizens. Thank you all for having me this afternoon. I know that I am late and the program has gone on. I can see from some of the body language over there that you're about ready to wrap it up. Am I right? I wanted to be here today because I wanted to welcome all of you to Bridgewater State University. And I want you to know, I know that, that Secretary Revel, who is an absolutely inspired leader in education here in the Commonwealth and really a model for the country, brought my greetings when he wondered whether I was going to be able to show up. I've just been at a hurricane briefing. But I wanted to be here personally because you are right on the cusp of history in Massachusetts. And this university has become a university because the folks behind me and many, many others earned it. Earned it. This is the right designation for the right institution at this moment in this institution's history and in the Commonwealth's. But I want to say just a word or two about the history that you will make, the history that you are about. I don't know about you, but I don't know if you've ever had that experience of having something rattling around in your head and you're looking for the words to give it shape, to really give it definition. Maybe the students don't understand that, but the parents will. And I remember coming across a New York Times column recently, a couple months ago, where the author was describing or comparing the greatest generation to my generation, the baby boom generation, your parents' generation. And the author described the greatest generation the way we've all heard the greatest generation described, that generation that fought and won the Second World War and rebuilt Europe, and then came home and created great public institutions like this one, that created the Federal Highway Authority and the social safety net we so worry about today, really launched the civil rights movement. And then the writer compared that generation to the baby boom generation and described us as the grasshopper generation because we've been feeding off of that all our lives. That is something that has bothered me for such a long, long time before I became governor. This notion of generational responsibility, that each of us in our time are supposed to do all we can to leave it better for those who come behind us. Something every one of us was taught by our grandparents in every generation, but that somehow has leaked out of the way we govern ourselves, the way our economy works, the way we act as citizens. And when I think about generational responsibility and I think about how it has been at the foundation of the kinds of hard decisions that we in this administration have been trying to make, I think most especially about you. Not just what it is we must do to leave it better for you, but what you must do to leave it better for those who come behind you. And so what I ask you today, and what I call for you today, is service. Service. I'm not talking about elected office, although that's one way. I'm not talking about working in a not-for-profit necessarily, although that's one way. The point is that there are all kinds of ways to act as if you understand the stake that each of you has, not just in your own dreams and your own struggles, but in your neighbors as well. That is what makes an intact community, in the smallest or the broadest sense. And that, I think, is how we bear our generational responsibility. Dr. King said of service that you don't need a PhD to serve. He said you don't even really need to be able to make your verb and your subject agree to serve. He said, all you need is a soul motivated by love, a heart full of grace. Whatever you study, whatever you become, remember that service must be not just a part of what you do, but who you are. I wish you well. God bless you all, and thank you for having me today.